by priming my skin with my normal primers. This is my Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Primer, and I'm just using this around my nose and right underneath it just for like pore filling. Then I'm gonna take my Cover FX Gripping Primer and put that on like the outer perimeter of my face and my cheeks. All right, and so while that's setting in, I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you guys about the foundation a little bit. I'm just gonna read like what it says inside the box because it pretty much has all the information we need. But it's called the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation for up to 24-hour wear. I am not wearing it for 24 hours, but we shall see how long it lasts. It's flexible, breathable, real skin, matte finish, medium buildable coverage. It does not transfer, minimizes the appearance of pores, stays true to color. It's waterproof, vegan formula, and does not contain any animal-derived ingredients or byproducts. So, sounds pretty good. So I got the shade 10WY in the foundation. Like I said, I picked it out in the store. It's always risky to pick foundations out in stores and swatch them inside because the lights are never that good. But let's just hope this matches, and if it doesn't, I can make it work. And then I did get the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer that's, again, up to 24-hour wear. It's basically the same claims as the foundation are on the side of the concealer, and I got in the shade 10NN. Alright, so this is what the packaging looks like. It's pretty light, actually. I kind of thought it was going to feel heavier, but it is 1 ounce of foundation, like most standard foundations. It retails for $39 and there are 50 shades. So just gonna like put like about 2 pumps on my little tray. That is what it looks like. So yeah, let's see. Ooh, that's so light. This actually looks really light, but when I was in the store and I was like testing it out on my hands, they did oxidize just a little bit, so I'm expecting it to get a little bit darker. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Alright, so it's clinging really weird to some of my dry patches. So on the other side, I'm going to go in with a beauty sponge and see if that makes it any better. You know, I'm gonna use my brush because with the sponge it gets like really sheer. So if you want any kind of coverage, I feel like you have to go in with a brush. Great, so I will say it's nice medium coverage. You can still see stuff peeking through, obviously. And I'm gonna try to build it up just a little bit. And I'm switching foundation brushes just because the brush I was using is the Morphe Y6, which I know they've changed the like packaging. It's not in the gold stuff anymore. But I haven't used that brush in so long, and yeah, like I didn't like how my foundation applied yesterday or the day before that, and this is the brush I've been using. So I'm almost wondering if it's something to do with the brush, but yeah, I feel like that's kind of like a far-fetched thing, but I figured I would give it a fair shot anyways. All right, so it did build up pretty nice. I'm gonna stop here. I don't feel like I've ever had this happen before, but with this brush, I didn't like it. Now it looks so much better, the second layer and like patting it over. So I don't know, maybe it had something to do with the brush. I have no idea. That's weird. I feel like I've never had that happen before. But again, yesterday I was using a different foundation. Couldn't stand it. And if you've seen my Anastasia video, I didn't like the way the foundation came out then either. And that's the brush I used. So maybe it has something to do with that brush, which is really strange because it's the brush I used to use all the time. But so now I'm going in with the concealer, and again I'm in the shade 10NN. It retails for $29 and there's 0.35 ounces in it, and there are 25 different shades. So, all right, so I hope this isn't like crazy bright. All right, so I'm just gonna do a little bit because it feels pretty thick. Now, normally I let my concealer dry a little bit before I go blend it in, but since I've never worked with this formula again, I always like to, you know, test the waters with that a little bit before I really wait. I like to see what it looks like if you did just blend it in right away. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit more, and I'm gonna let this layer dry just a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and start on the other eye. I will say the name of this, like the Weightless Foundation, really feels very accurate because I don't really feel like I'm putting a lot of makeup on, you know? Even this concealer, with how thick it is, I don't feel like I just put a bunch of concealer on. So everything's super easy to blend out. So I do like how this looks underneath my eyes. So I'm just putting a little bit in the other spots just to kind of balance it out. Like I feel like it has a really, really decent medium coverage right now. Like I said, I didn't really build up the foundation or the concealer. But I do think they look really pretty, and I think they complement each other really well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes. I'm gonna take my Charlotte Tilbury powder in the shade Fair. Alright, so now I'm going to set the rest of my face, and I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Setting Powder, which I'm still trying out. Okay, so I'm going to go finish up my face, and then I'll be right back to tell you guys how all of my makeup applied on top of this foundation. Alright, so all of my makeup did apply pretty well on top of it. Now, I didn't put a ton of makeup on top, just really light bronzer, a little bit of blush, some highlight, stuff like that. But I am going to come back and check in a few hours and let you guys know how this is wearing. I will say it's already starting to crease in my smile lines, but honestly for me that's pretty normal. All foundation, concealer, powder creases really, really fast. Now some crease worse than others, but this one to me is kind of like its normal progression of creasing for me. So yeah. Alright, so I'll be back in a little bit to check in with you guys on how the foundation's wearing. Alright, so it's currently 1 o'clock. I've now had this foundation on for 3.5 hours. And yeah, this is how it looks. Let me look at it like close. Again, it's still creasing around my mouth. Honestly though, the creasing has not gotten worse. It pretty much looks the same as it did like 30 minutes after I put it on. So I'm good with that. Not separating anywhere, nothing like that. It did get a little bit darker, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, I'll probably check in like another 3-4 hours, and we'll see how it's doing from there. All right, so it's been about 3 hours since my last check-in, so let's go ahead and just take a peek at how all of this is doing. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it looks pretty good everywhere. Still going really good and strong, and it didn't transfer. I've been leaning on my hand a lot, like just working on the computer and stuff like that, and it hasn't transferred or anything off my face, so I'm super impressed by that. So I've had this foundation on for about 6 hours and it's holding up really, really well. I've been out walking around, I've been out talking, I've been outside, and it's so hot outside here. So yeah, it's doing pretty good. I've also done a lot of just sitting around the house and like working and stuff like that. So I'm probably gonna do another check-in around the 8-hour wear time and just see where we are from there. And then that's probably gonna be my last check-in before I give like my final opinion on this foundation. So we shall see. So it is 7:30 now, and I've had this foundation on for 9.5 hours. I have to say it's pretty much maintained its look the whole day. Again, I still have light creasing here, but it's not gotten any worse. I don't notice it separating, it's not getting oily or anything like that. But as of right now, I do recommend this foundation. It's really good, and so is the concealer. It seems like a really, really nice everyday kind of foundation and concealer combo. Well, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my other future uploads, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.